Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. I can't talk. Interwebs. My name has been every day on this channel. I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're in this army right here, let me just run my fingers across it. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Why can I? There it is. There, now I'm up in there. I like it. If you're in that XRP army, we got a story for you guys today. Very interesting stuff based on what I've been told. Maybe some confirmation. Maybe something is happening very soon with this SEC case. We're going to be looking at that today. There's some very interesting language you guys got to see. Where are my hashtag XRP army folks? I want to see where y'all are at. So Crypto Ric Flair says he started a new job today. Got to go. See you tonight. Well, we miss you, Crypto Ric Flair, of course. Woo! Woo! Okay, somebody said they're glad there isn't a Falcons coin. It would be tanky. We come to you live every single day at 11:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Thursday, September 23rd, and it is just a sweaty 78 degrees in here. It's
nice and cool outside, though.
It is. You know what? So last night, I went to take my son to travel practice, and, I walked outside, and I looked at him, I said, son, it's chilly. Now, I still wore shorts, but, not chilly enough for pants yet.
Yeah.
When do you feel like it's pants weather here in Georgia?
I mean, we're getting close. I think it takes more consistency with the chill. Like, it's still...
November for sure.
Yeah, it's nice and cool in the morning, but then it still warms up in the afternoon. It's nice and cool in the evening. So, light jacket goes a long way. Maybe sweater weather.
Sweater weather. I like it. So guys, today we're going to be talking about, like I said, some XRP settlement news. Could be out sooner rather than later. That's big news today. We're going to be looking at what the Fed said yesterday. I touched on this a little bit last night, and I'll tell you what I've been told about this news. Because at first glance, it doesn't seem like the Fed continuing their monetary policy into 2022 will be indicative of inflation. But I'm going to tell you why that's actually not true and why it is still coming on the way. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin bouncing back pretty good. Or it was. I mean, I'm afraid to look right now and see, is it bounced back right now? 43.8, 43.9. It was over 44 here just a little bit ago. It's been flirting around with the $44,000 number. And I do want to tell you guys, when it comes to the futures close tomorrow, because the price has already dropped so much over the last 2 weeks, do not think is going to have a big impact tomorrow. And lately, the futures contracts at the end of the month have not been having a huge effect on the market. Now, these are the quarterly futures contracts. Is that? No, that's next week, isn't it? No, it is this week, this Friday.
Yep, because there's the first
30 days.
Friday. So.
What was that comment there?
Ben, looking fit.
Oh,
what's your bench?
Well, we benched 300 last week, and we've not tried to go up from there. This week, we took a little a backwards day where we just did higher reps at lower weight, like 275 to like 3 or 4 reps.
Yeah, according to Shelby, who I guess committed his life to personal training, apparently it's not good to max every day.
Yeah,
which shocks us, but he wants us to go back down and do reps and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, you gotta love it for Shelby. I mean, think about this: is our personal trainer. He played at Alabama. Great guy. He's in the Alabama weightlifting Hall of Fame. Dedicated his whole life to personal training. Now, I think he turned 50. It was his birthday this week.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
I didn't know it was his birthday.
Yeah, it was his birthday. He turned 50, I think.
Also, so humble.
So humble. This is going to line up with that perfect. Dedicated his whole life to personal training. He waits till 50 years old to get to the peak of his career when he trains us.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing guy.
He's made it. Good job.
He's made it now. He's made it. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's not delay too long here. We got 1.27 million subscribers. I don't know when we're ticking up. Haven't looked the last couple of days.
27 is my lucky number.
Oh, is it? How about that? 556,000 here on Twitter. You guys follow us there. Now, don't forget our meet and greet. It is this weekend, September 25th, 3 to 6 Central Time at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. I will be wearing a cowboy hat. And I did want to mention, guys, don't forget, this is brought to you by Cirrus Foundation. This is a project that is sponsoring this meetup. We've covered them a couple times. We did an AMA. Definitely one to check out. Involves, data, privacy, things that we like in crypto. So make sure you guys check out Cirrus Foundation and give them some love. A lot of people signing up for this. We're real excited about it. Can't wait to see everybody. I had the meetup was in jeopardy last night.
Really? What happened? News to me.
My grandma was in a terrible car accident last night. So terrible car accident. So thoughts and prayers to my grandma. I mean, thought it was over. Thought it was it. You know, she got hit by a car and very, very sad situation. But she broke her pelvis and 2 bones in her back. We think is all it is. So we very, very fortunate. It could have been much worse. My grandpa, listen to this. Now, they were just in a bad car accident 3 years ago. Wasn't their fault at all. Somebody just ran into him. My grandpa was like, where's she at? It's like 9:15, you know? So he leaves and he drives to the church where she was. And all he sees when he drives by is her car crushed on the side of the road with no door on it and nobody there. Because the ambulance had picked her up and taken her. I don't know if it was on, maybe it was on a wrecker. So he had no idea. He had to find out where she was. He thought, you know, it was very, very terrible. You know, the car was in terrible shape. So, you know, when we got the call, we thought it could have been over. Very bad stuff, you know, especially somebody so important in your life. So very fortunate for us, you know, thank the Lord that, you know, she wasn't killed, and it looks like she's going to be okay. It's just going to be like kind of hard recovery and stuff like that. But anyways, so, you know, thinking, God, who knows, you know, might be the hospital this weekend or worse. So very fortunate how, you know, that she's okay and that, you know, I mean, meetup is not a huge concern compared to that, but, you know, very thankful it all worked out for the best. Love my grandma. She helped raise me, you know, for sure. So shout out to Granny.
Thoughts and prayers to Granny.
Thoughts and prayers to Granny. I'm going to get her we found out that she had her wallet. It's a gift card envelope that I gave to her like 2 years ago. So we're going to buy her a nice little wallet for her recovery. Okay, so you can go ahead and start over. We'll get into the markets. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but that's kind of like a big thing that happened in my life last night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. Find that out. Very traumatic. Market cap shade under 2 trillion. We're at $1.975 trillion. We've got 115 billion in volume. So, you know, not as high as it was yesterday. We got Bitcoin dominance back under 42%. I think this is very important that we are seeing this Bitcoin dominance number start to drop again. Whenever we see these dramatic, you know, price drops, we'll see the Bitcoin dominance rise. And then when it starts ticking down again, you know, that's good stuff. Ethereum dominance also down at 18.5%. And for 44 Paraguays, you can send an ETH transaction. So we got Bitcoin coming in at $43,858. It's up 2% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum with a nice bounce back, up at 3,100. Just to look on those market caps, you know, because I was checking those out the other day, you know, because Bitcoin was almost back to a trillion, and now it's down to 826 billion. Ethereum at 365 billion. And if you double that, what is that? 730. So still about, you know, about 40% of Bitcoin's market cap right now. Cardano having a good day, up 2%. XRP up 1.24%. Solana bouncing back up 5%. Look at the biggest gainers of the day. Biggest gainers of the day, we got Terra Luna. We got Arweave. We're going to be covering Arweave in a video here a little bit better. So let's see here. Ben Schilling for his buddies at Digital Currency Group. I can assure you I'm not on their good list. Don't even know what that means. So anyways, we got Tezos, 17% gainer. Cosmos continuing to move. And you know what's really impressive is when you start looking at this list and you see all the red, even the ones that are green for the daily, and you look here and you see Cosmos up 16%, up 21% for the week. Same thing with Cello, up 15%, 34% for the week. This is a World Economic Forum, you know, favorite. They love Cello. Involves cell phone networks. Cello.
Is Cosmos near the all-time high? Well, where did it peak out? I know it went over 40 before, but did it get to 45 or is that?
I'm not sure. TJ, let's take a look. See. No, it peaked at 44. Yeah, it's right. It's right there. I mean, it's 44 is the all-time high.
Yeah.
And right now it's at, so let's look at the 3-month. Well, it just hit an all-time high like last week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just didn't know if it recovered back to that yet, which it looks like not quite.
Is Ben saying sell low? That's pretty funny. That's a good dad joke there. I have to remember that one. Okay, so let's get back over here to this. So as we're looking at Avalanche, another. That's not what I wanted. Avalanche, another big gainer over the last 24 hours. You guys can see up 11%, but once again, it's up 15% for the week. You know, I was talking yesterday when I was with Brian Rose on London Real, and we were talking about what projects I like right now. And, you know, when you see what happened with Solana, is it a good time to get in? Maybe when it retraced to 120, maybe that was a good time to get in. General, it's not a good time to be positioning in Solana, I believe. To believe it's going to continue to defy logic and outperform everything else, I mean, that's just a hard leap. That's just a hard leap. You look at some other projects that have a lot of potential. When you look at Avalanche, like this is one here where I do believe it has a chance to climb much higher than it is now. I think it's got a chance, I've been saying this for 2 weeks, to go on a similar run to what we saw from Solana. Why? We're seeing a lot of the same movement and positioning right now that we saw with Solana 2 months ago or 3 months ago, when we saw Coinbase Ventures, well, a big part of putting almost a $400 million investment into Solana right before it started doubling every week. Now we see you've got Three Arrows Capital and some other project. I can't remember what the name of it was. Maybe it was Andreessen Horowitz's company. I think they were already invested in it. But they put $230 million into Avalanche last week, I believe. Okay. You have projects like OneChain, for instance, that we're going to be covering this week, a partner of the channel, where they're working with their cross-chain bridge to introduce Avalanche into their ecosystem and create wrap tokens on Avalanche. Why are they doing that? Because this thing is hot. This thing is heating up. DeFi on Avalanche is about to get really hot. I believe it does have the potential to go on a Solana type run to where it ends up at number 5 or 6 on CoinMarketCap, something like that. So maybe not. Maybe it won't happen. But I'm just saying, I think it does have the potential.
Yeah. Let's roll into some Q&A here. We've got It's Me, Scotty J. Are you worried about the government defaulting on debts and shutting down? If so, what would you do? What would that do to the crypto markets? Make another positive case for crypto, or correct like the stonk markets?
Yeah, so I'm going to be totally honest when it comes to defaulting and the debt ceiling. I'm not really actually too well versed on that. I'll make a note to make sure that I do become well versed on what that means in the larger financial system. Like, here's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what happens if we were default. I know the government has shut down before. It didn't have a huge dramatic effect, I don't think.
Well, yeah, and if the U.S. specifically was to default on loans, it would cause a major cascading.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
It'd be similar to like what we were talking about with Evergrande and China and things like that, where it would cause a cascade of, if they default, then the people that owe them money wouldn't, or they're supposed to be paying, wouldn't be able to pay their debts, and it would just go all the way down to the debt.
But the government can't bail out itself, like the Chinese government bailed out Evergrande by funneling money into the banking system.
Well, the only way they do that is print. So we don't think they're gonna default. So yeah.
Yeah. So well, here you go, TJ. I mean, when you think about this narrative that we've been discussing about the deflation, you make your dollars more valuable. You can pay off bigger parts of the deficit at one time. You know, and the other country's money would be getting weaker while ours is getting stronger. So I think there is some play. But I will go to my economy guy that I've got. I have a guy that, you know, knows every single possible thing there is about economics and how it all fits in and works together. And I'm going to ask about the debt ceiling and see exactly, you know, kind of what he thinks about that. But in terms of the rest of it, I mean, if the government were to shut down, we would see obviously prices drop. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for crypto. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think it will get all worked out. I mean, the government, it's all positioning by the government. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to the Fed printing money. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Right. And like you were saying, we don't, not only do we not think it's going to happen, but if it did, it would affect all markets. Crypto would not be insulated from something like that.
Yeah.
That was the second part of that question there. Ivan on with a super chat on YouTube. Did you see the Gary Gensler video on Twitter telling students that if they deposited $5 a week, they could have 130K by the time they're done in
Deposited
college?
in what?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I was
I
just
didn't either. Let me go
reading
look.
the question.
Yeah, no, I did not see that question. I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Gary Gensler, what a fraud. Skeletor. I would have to see.
It's probably that.
Or getting ready to graduate soon, or putting money in one way or another. Now is this financial advice? Is he a financial advisor?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about this story, but I do know he's a fraud and a scammer. So that's what it is.
Will the XRP case end in September or early next month, in your opinion? From Chain
Well,
Crypto.
we're going to be looking at a story today that could indicate this thing is going to be over pretty soon. My people are insisting that, the timeline is for September. Timeline is for September. We have a week left. Now, if it happens the first week or two of October 1st, 2nd, I don't think anybody's going to really, bat an eye at that. But there are people that are growing impatient with how long this is taking. Now, why is this taking this long? I don't know if you guys okay, let's really take a step back and let's think about this case. What is this case is about? Okay. I told you Gary Gensler is a fraud. He represents banks. Banks are all in on XRP and Ripple, the Ripple net. This whole thing has been a play to push the price of XRP down so they can accumulate as much as possible before it is totally integrated into the banking system. And when the prices start climbing later this month, next month, whenever, then that's going to prevent them from doing so. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But just as far as the case goes, even though it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good. We only got a week left. I've been told it's still the timeline. So.
In the similar question from Michael, who says formerly of Trustalize, says, do you think Gensler will keep trying to postpone this case on purpose, knowing they're losing, could be waiting for a bear market to try to deal a blow?
No, he knows they're losing. They all know they're losing. It's been planned for them to lose from the beginning.
Do you think he'll try to delay it?
Why would he try to delay it? Look, this is something that has been planned. That this was never in question. This is never in question. Who does Gensler actually work for? Who did he work for before he went to the SEC?
Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs. Who's he work for? Works for the banks. Who's using XRP? The banks. Where's the conflict? There's no conflict here. So I think that's just like we see with Coinbase in the SEC. They're really working together. Okay. This is all political theater. The same thing's going on with this case. So,
question from Hacked Phoenix on Twitch. Q&A, pump or dump this weekend?
Well, I've said pump for like 37 weekends in a row, so let's roll with it.
All right. I like that. Christian Blair on YouTube, I believe. Is it possible this bull run goes into mid-2022?
I say no.
Okay.
I don't think it's possible.
Lightning round. Will Sol be able to beat its all-time high from Sunburst Chrome?
Yeah, sure. It's not that far off right now. Yeah, it'll definitely beat all-time high. How high it will go, I don't know. I thought 250 would be the peak. Looking like now, probably closer to maybe 500 or more.
From
maybe 1,000, maybe even 1,000. It's possible, but it will be its all-time high.
T-Salt T, have you met the Celsius team, and do you think they would be under any threat of SEC regulation?
Okay, so Celsius is definitely not working with the SEC. Yes, I have met almost everyone from all the main players from the Celsius team.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I interviewed Alex, met him in person. Big fan of Celsius. If you guys want to check out Celsius, you guys can go to bitboycrypto.com/deals, and you guys can get access to our Celsius link right here on the page.
Sorry.
HODL50 is the code to use to get a percentage off, or to get 20. I can't remember exactly what it gives you. Do you remember what it gives you?
I think it gives you $50 deposit bonus.
There you go.
So you get $50 in crypto. I don't know if it's in what coin it's in, but.
And of course, if you guys ever want to try, if you're not American, you want to try ByBit, if you want to try Femex or get the crypto.com Visa debit card, Market Cipher, these are all our major deals, TokenMetrics. You need to get yourself a hardware. You guys can get this here as well. But the point with Celsius is this, is that Celsius is not working with the SEC. Now, you really start to develop a picture of who is attached to the government who's attached to the financial cartel and who is not. Okay. Alex Mashinsky is not. So I don't think this case is going to go bad for Celsius in any stretch of the imagination. I've been very clear about my opinion on what's going to happen with stablecoin staking. It's going to become obsolete, or the returns are going to get dropped significantly. We already saw BlockFi do this earlier this year. This was because of pressure from the people at the top. They didn't just change it because they wanted to make more money. Okay. They changed it because they were forced to. I think eventually Celsius is going to have to change their stablecoin staking. I think you'll still be able to stake Bitcoin, Ethereum, any crypto asset that is volatile. Stablecoin is not volatile. That means the return is pretty much guaranteed. It's a centralized service, so you got to trust on the platform. But as long as you trust the platform, it's pretty much a guaranteed return, which is much higher than bank interest or bond yields. And that's what the government and the banking infrastructure does not want. So,
all right, there you go. Let's do some charts.
Okay, let's do some charts here. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin. And we should have our iPad where I can draw on this thing soon. I have it sitting over here, but not quite. Here it is. Here's my iPad. But I can't draw on it yet. But I did put some crusty fingerprints on it just now.
Yeah, I love fingerprints on the screen. One of my favorite things.
Is it? Oh, it is. You love when someone touches your screen?
I do.
He does. He's a big fan of that. Okay, so looking here on the this is the weekly chart. The weekly chart, this candle is pretty bullish right here if you look at it. I mean, this long wick down here, pretty indicative of possible moving up. We're back up in the EMA ribbon. We'll switch over to the daily. I heard that there was not. Let's actually move to the 12-hour chart here. 12-hour chart. So somebody said on the 11-hour chart now, we have a on the 11-hour chart, there's a large green dot, but not on the 12-hour. Let me see if that's right. Added. Add. Can I not add it? Why can I not add it? Oh, there it is. Okay. It did add. Yeah, so look at that. Isn't that amazing? On the 11-hour chart, we get a large green dot. This is thanks to Damon in my research group. But we get the large green dot here. But on the 12-hour, we don't get it. Isn't that interesting? Now, we almost got it. I mean, it got pretty close. We did get a green dot here on the momentum wave. This, of course, is market Cipher. But, you know, we did get the white part cutting into the deep blue part here. Let's check out the daily chart and see what's going on with it. See if we've got. Now, this is. Oh, look at this. Wow, this is very interesting here. So here on the daily chart, you can see that we do have on market Cipher. It looks like this is cutting in finally. This is starting to sharpen here, cutting into the momentum wave. This could lead to a massive run here. We haven't had a line this thick here, a white part of the momentum wave this thick this entire bull run. So I'm thinking this could lead to, you know, kind of rubber band movement. We pop back up at some point. The daily's starting to look a little more bullish. It looks like we bottomed here. It looks like, you know, getting 39.5 was certainly the bottom. Which, by the way, we've got 12,000 viewers. We got 2,200 likes. We could go ahead and get that number up to 7,000 today. That would be fantastic. If you're watching on mobile, exit out of the live chat, hit the like button, come back to the live chat. We want to know your thoughts and opinions. If you're watching on a decentralized TV,
hey, could be something.
If you're watching on a smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, hit more actions or more options, then hit react and like this video. So the long and the short of it here is it looks like we bottomed, and I think we are going to start moving up soon. Obviously, it doesn't look like we're going to be hitting a new Corey. It doesn't look like we're going to be hitting a new all-time high here in the next few days, but I do believe we are going to be heading up. I mean, there are a lot of bears out there. Certainly a lot of bears that are preaching that this is over and, you know, the market's going back down. Then you have people that are saying this is going to be a long, slow climb upwards. I don't believe that that is going to be the case. So XRP settlement on September 28th, says Gary Gensler. Somehow I think that's a troll. Wish it was right. That would be great. Okay, so looking at the Ethereum chart here, you know what? Let's look at still same thing. I mean, looking pretty, not necessarily super bullish here on the weekly, but not super bearish either. We are finally getting back up into our little accumulation zone. On Ethereum now, we do have on the daily a green dot on the momentum wave. I suspect the small green dot on the momentum wave to show up in the next day or two on the daily chart, which could be good stuff. But I want to look up, let's see, where is Bitcoin, Ethereum? There it is. So we've been on a very clear downtrend on this all throughout September. And kind of what we're seeing here, we could be seeing a bounce back. I mean, you saw, if you went back to this here, which took us all the way back to May throughout the entire drop, we had a really long kind of descending movement here. And then when we broke up out of it, we never came back down and touched this line again. So now we could be seeing something similar here. We finally start to break out. I mean, if we were to go from up here to something like this, we're still well above this, or well below the EMA ribbon here, well below this line. So we've got to get up above this to really start seeing, positive price movement for Ethereum against Bitcoin. And this is what we want to see. We want to see Ethereum making gains against Bitcoin. It's very important. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on here. Now, this is an interesting story here. Crypto markets soar after Fed commits to printing and Evergrande plans to pay its debts. Now, I discussed this a little bit last night on our, crypto wrap-up video. So I've already touched on this a little bit. Evergrande bailed out by the Chinese government, okay? They're going to be taking it over. They didn't pump the money directly into Evergrande. They pumped it into the banking system to keep them from defaulting on their debts. So now China can come in and take over Evergrande and not be in an upside down situation, basically. So that is what's going to happen. As long as they don't give Evergrande the money, then they're still able to come in and take that company, which they will. Now, they may not come out and say that they are, but they are. That's going to happen for sure. But the more interesting thing here that I want to talk about is the Fed, okay? So let's see, come down here. So the midday spike in the price of Bitcoin yesterday when it spiked up to 44,000 came following comments from United States Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, who explained that the central bank plans to continue its current level of monthly bond purchases for the foreseeable future. Interesting. Those bonds just keep coming up, keep coming up. Powell also signaled that a hike in interest rates could come as soon as 2022. Now, that seems to be very bullish for money printing at first. Okay. It seems to be very bullish for money printing. Quantitative easing, right? That's the only thing that can keep them at this point from cutting interest rates. But notice he says it could come as soon as 2022. Now, originally, this was set to take place in 2023 when the economy is healthier. But now there's hallmarks of a healthy economy, okay, which is all a joke right now. But regardless of that, you have inflation. It increased from August to September, but the rate at which it was increasing fell off a cliff. Very dramatic difference from July to August. What that means is the trend has started reversing, okay? So that was one thing, and then they were looking at, I think, jobs report, maybe good, came out good. I don't know if it's actually out yet. Can't remember what the second thing was. There was another reason, that they were looking at this, being a positive thing. But the thing is, we don't have a healthy economy right now. Very, very clearly. I mean, if you try to do business anywhere right now, it's very hard to do business. Still having massive supply chain issue problems, having massive employment problems. People don't want to work right now. A lot of people don't want to work. I know that. I'm building a house right now. It's hard to get people to actually do stuff at the house, which wasn't a problem before. The pouring of my foundation was like delayed by like months, just the foundation, because they couldn't find people to pour the foundation. Okay. So the point here is this, is that it's supposed to be 2023, but now they're saying 2022. So even though that's next year, that's still pretty bearish for the economy, especially when you understand the economy is not doing well. They're trying to force it to make it look like it's doing great. But here's the more important thing here, okay? What do we talk about over and over and over again when it comes to the financial cartel and crypto, okay? We talk about FUD. What do? They put out stories that intentionally confused people? What do you think the whole thing with Bitcoin and the environment and Elon Musk was? What do you think that was? You think that was random? Oh no, that was not random. That was made for Bitcoin to look a certain way, to confuse people, to get people to sell their Bitcoin. Okay, that's what that entire thing was. So, do we think the federal government is any different? Do we think that the federal government is going to actually tell us what's coming? Going to actually tell us what's happening? They've been signaling a lot towards inflation, saying, be careful of inflation. When the government starts telling you inflation's a problem, you're about to get the rug pulled out from under you. Okay? What we're seeing here, when you're looking at the discussion involving the debt ceiling, which I'm going to try to get a little more researched on, so I can talk a little more tangibly about that. But between the debt ceiling, government shutdown, inflation, deflation, bond yields going down, tapering starting in November, interest rates hiking in 2022. What does all that equal? What does all that equal?
A bear market.
Well, it's hard to know. It's hard. Well, for the economy as a whole, and none of it looks good. But the thing is, it's a lot of mixed messages. It's a lot of mixed messages coming in at one time. Okay, when they're warning you about inflation, but then they're lowering the bond yields, you can't make heads or tails of what they're trying to do. This is all about confusion on the American people. That's what's going on right now. So you can't trust what's coming out of the Fed. You can't trust what's coming out of Gary Gensler's mouth. Certainly can't trust what's coming out of Janet Yellen's mouth. Can't trust what's coming out of the banking broad's mouth, Elizabeth Warren. Can't trust anything that comes out of these people's mouths. Remember this. Watch what they do, not what they say. Watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. So I think over the next few months is going to be pretty clear, what is going on there. So, all right, let's move on here. SEC registrants seek DeFi and physically backed Bitcoin ETF approval. So it seems like ETF has been, such a buzzword for the last few weeks. It hasn't. Sunburst Chrome says, "Can we trust you?" LOL. Don't trust, verify. Come to my meetup and meet me, and I'll get you in on the real story. I'll be wearing a cowboy hat though, so it'll feel real nice. Okay, so here's the thing. Amplify ETFs, Invesco, and Galaxy submitted registrations to the U.S. SEC for Bitcoin and DeFi-based ETF offerings. Can you grab me some water? Crypto companies from the United States filed 2 registration statements with the SEC seeking permission to sell exchange-traded funds in relation to Bitcoin and DeFi. Atlanta-based investment company Invesco is in Alpharetta, joined New York's Galaxy Digital Funds to file and register Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, which, by the way, TJ,
Yes.
show Billions. Have you watched that?
I've watched like the first episode.
You watched the first scene?
The first scene. Yes,
Yeah,
I've seen the first scene. Yeah.
Listen, the first scene is the worst thing in the whole show, just so everybody knows. I mean, like, explicit content-wise. But the thing is that Mike Novogratz was on it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're having new episodes.
Yeah, I heard they had new. I've literally only watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, so it's a good show. But on the latest episodes, Mike Novogratz was on it. I was like, how many people see him and know that's Mike Novogratz?
Yeah, I wonder.
Only people in crypto, right?
Yeah.
You think people outside crypto know who Mike Novogratz is? Like, they would recognize it.
Some, but I don't. It's got to be a small percentage. I mean, I assume he was in the show playing himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and like an investment type.
Yeah, it was like running a charity dinner or something like that. So.
I mean, if you're in, fintech, people probably know who he is. Top people that are into trading and stuff.
Yeah.
But
pretty interesting. I saw him. I was like, when are they gonna have me on Billions?
Maybe next season.
Next season, y'all, reach out to me. Let's do the crypto influencer battle between me and Bobby Axelrod.
I think
let's do it.
The crypto version of that show though might be trillions, because there's a lot more money to be made in crypto.
That's true. Okay, so anyways, if approved by the SEC, Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF will be registered as securities offering. On the other hand, SEC's approval for Amplify ETFs will allow the company to issue unlimited new shares for American investors. We love that. Unlimited new shares when it comes to crypto, right?
Sounds like the dollar.
Sound like it. SEC Chairman Gary Skeletor Gensler has been pursuing crypto business to register with the authorities. In a statement from September 14th, Gensler asked crypto-related companies to come in and talk to us, citing probabilities of legal status. This is like, this reminds me of? It reminds me of when a police station will do that thing where they'll be like, like free drug drop-off.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you have illegal drugs, you want to get rid of them, come bring them to us. We'll take them off your hands, and then they arrest everybody that comes in.
They just want to talk.
Yeah.
That's it. Just have a conversation.
I've seen a couple people mention about the Peter Schiff debate. We reached out to the Daily Wire, and they actually said that what they're doing is they're doing a debate series. And when they have everything ready for the series, our Bitcoin gold debate is going to come out. So it will be coming out at some point. We did it. I think it went really well, so we'll have to see what happens there. But it might take a little bit longer. Okay, so we've got Definity to launch Bitcoin smart contracts on the internet computer. Definity's moves are part of a wider scale industry initiative to make Bitcoin usable in DeFi and Web 3.0. There seems to be a pretty big push to put Bitcoin on smart contracts, but I think it's kind of like trying to, put duct tape on something that's already broken. And I tell you one thing, I tell you this, the Bitcoin maxis, they're all about Bitcoin smart contracts. Like, they love it. They've been saying this for years, right? Which you got to look at the ecosystems. They're so far ahead of them already. But let me tell you, the number one company, the Bitcoin maxis, do not want utilizing Bitcoin smart contracts. Definity. Yeah. ICP, where my juggalos at, insane clown posse here. Internet Computer Protocol. This project, something to stay away from. Now, look, I say it's something to stay away from, but there has been some institutional investment interest in this. Why? If you look at some of the backers for this, like, let's see here, Definity, ICP. See if we can get to their backers on their website. I'm sure we probably can. Foundation, events, ecosystem, developer grants, fellowship, learn how it works. No, let's see. ICP investors, crypto. Let's see here. I can't really see it, but there's a lot of big money in this is the point here. There's a lot of big money behind this. I can't pull up a list of them right now, but I will say this. There's big money behind ICP. So whether you think it's a scam or not, that's on you to decide. Now, the question is, at some point, if the whales do start investing in ICP, then, I could see it as something to kind of start putting money. We actually, before we had a big crash a couple weeks ago, we started seeing ICP gaining a lot of momentum. So from a price perspective, it can certainly pump. It's one we're staying away from forever. We won't put money in this project. There's a few projects we don't put money into. XLM is one. No offense, Akon, but I don't like the founder. Is what it boils down to. I don't invest in ICP. I don't invest in Tron. Those are projects that we stay away from. We did when it was brand new. We put a little bit of money in ICP. I think $100,000, and it got absolutely crushed.
EOS is another one. Similar.
Yeah, EOS. That's another one we don't put money in. Bitcoin Cash. Don't put any money in that. So, all right, so let's move on here. We got whale grabs 321 Bitcoin while Bitcoin is dropping, holds 111,794 Bitcoin in total. This is one of the largest crypto whales. Now, $10 billion worth of Bitcoin has been accumulated by whales, in the last few months. Is Bitcoin has been, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Bipolar. That's the word. It's been a little bipolar, going in both directions. But data provided by BitInfo Chart shows the third largest crypto whale has added another 321 Bitcoin. Total balance of the Bitcoin wallet of the whale is $4.75 billion in fiat. Whatever happened to the billionaire that died, I think off the coast of Costa Rica? Whatever happened to his Bitcoin?
Probably lost in a boating accident.
That's what they say. He drowned, I think they say. Bitcoin billionaire drowned.
Right.
They say he was also a loner, so he didn't have a family. He didn't have anything like that. So I wonder if somebody's watching that wallet. I don't know what wallet it is. Maybe I can get some info.
Somebody
on that.
probably has the wallet. That's probably why he drowned.
Well, that's the implication, I would think, for sure.
And it might be him.
Because I would expect it to move.
could be him.
Who? Ranger02?
Yeah.
He's asked about XRP. I don't think he's a murderer.
Yeah. He
Who?
drowned with his cold wallet, Brenda said.
Well, depends on how low he. That's morbid. I don't want to say that.
T
That's very
Salty
morbid.
said, TJ, leave your tinfoil hat at the door. He's got it backwards. We actually hand him out at the door.
Yeah, it's the only way to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want the microwave.
No. Yeah,
exactly. Your brain. Let's see. Small Bitcoin holders own 13.9% of the Bitcoin supply. And guys, look, this is such an incredible stat here. There's no financial cartel. The whales don't move the market. They don't manipulate it. Guys, you're 13.9% of the overall Bitcoin out there. Retail investors, 13.9% of the total supply. That's how much you hold.
That's actually higher than I would have even thought too.
Yeah.
Still low, but it's lower, higher than I thought it would have been under 10.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's still a pretty small number. I mean,
It
I
is.
know it's like top heavy for sure for the whales, but I mean, 13.9%. To think about all the retail investors that have came in since 2016, it's still pretty low, I think. So, all right. Some people still think Bitcoin's going to $100,000 this year. What idiots, right? Bitcoin also definitely going to $100,000 this year, according to me. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so JP Morgan claims institutions are ditching Bitcoin for Ether. Now, once again, if JP Morgan is claiming this, then what's really the story here? I wonder. In a recent note, JP Morgan analysts claim that Ethereum is seeing much healthier institutional demand compared to arch rival Bitcoin. The American Mega Bank points to the fact that Bitcoin futures offered by the Chicago-based giant CME Group, which some people say rules the SEC, have returned to backwardation. Have you? When's the last time you went to backwardation?
I've never actually even heard that word before. Backwardation.
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting word.
Yeah. Oh, and I was gonna say, if this is coming from, you said JP Morgan?
Yep.
It probably means they have a ton of Ethereum.
Yep, absolutely. But this is stories. I mean, while it's true, it also is a little misleading, I think. Let me see if I can find this here. I wish I could find where that chart was that showed that Solana had become the most invested in, crypto by investment. Solana institutional investors.
Do you remember the price of your first Bitcoin purchase?
Yeah, $12.
$12.
I do remember, like 11.94 or something like that. Let's see, investors crypto holding. No, that's 2 days ago.
ABC Corp. That's not what DZ said. DZ said he thought it was going to around 80. And he said Ben said it might.
His net worth?
No, the price of Bitcoin. And Ben has said approach. Like it might get into the mid 90s, and we get the sell off right before 100, something like that. 100's a approximation.
Yeah. No, I think 100 is the number. I do think that
it will go to exactly 100,000 even.
No, it will momentum carry a little bit above that.
Okay,
but that's when the pullback will happen. So I do think it will hit 100K. I don't think it'll hit 99. Now, are we going to be taking profits? Yeah, for sure. 80, 90, 95K. We'll be taking profits around that area. It's not because I don't think at that point it's still hit 100K. It could go from 90 to 105 and back to 70 in a day. So that's why I'd be taking profits. But I do think it will hit 100K. I think if this thing is going to get the momentum going back again, I don't think it'll stop till it hits it. So
it is funny to hear how often people switch their numbers based on the day. Based on the mood right now, you hear a lot of people saying 70s, 80s, 85, 90. Then we get one really big pump really fast, and we're like mid 60s pushing 70s, and they're like, oh yeah, 120, 140, 150. Yeah. And then a dump, and then it's like, oh wait, no, actually
18.
Yeah.
It's funny. People. We never changed our number. Yeah. Well, actually, that's not true. We did change our number. We went from, and when we had 3 months chopped out of the market, we went from 322 to 100, and we're sticking with 100. So
yeah. I thought, did any of that conversation with Cowan and you about the stock to flow, was any of that actually in the interview? Because I thought that was a pretty interesting discussion.
I think it was.
Okay.
No, maybe it wasn't.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But
We
yeah,
talked, maybe that was before we went on air. We talked about stock to flow, and both of us kind of are in agreement that that's not going to necessarily. We don't think the stock flow will continue to play out for too much longer.
Right. The median line is going to turn more into the top line, and the
Yes.
top line's going to become irrelevant. Yada
Yep.
yada.
So, but the thing I want to say about the institutional investing in Ethereum here that JP Morgan's talking about is, yes, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin institutional investing, but Ethereum is now like the number 3 most invested in crypto by institutions. So it's a little misleading. Makes it sound like super bullish on Ethereum, and all this stuff, which is true. But number 1, Solana, and number 2 is Cardano. So keep that in mind when you see Ethereum down in number 3. What were you laughing at?
One of the comments that just got deleted.
Oh, they got deleted?
Yeah.
Must have been a good one.
Yeah.
Ethereum options max pain price is now at 2,800 after a 16% retrace. I think options are going to be very anticlimactic yesterday. This is a pretty big story, though. Ethereum NFTs can now be moved to Solana. And, there was basically, I see Rand's in the chat. He says, don't tell BitBoy.
That's pretty good.
He's not actually in the chat.
Oh.
But somebody typed that in there. So basically the long and the short of this is that there's people in our research group that really hate Ethereum, and they're like, well, this is it. Move Ethereum NFTs to Solana. Ethereum's dead. Like, come on, guys. Let's be for real here. How many people are actually going to move their NFTs to Solana? Very small percentage.
Yep.
Your average person doesn't even know how to do that, doesn't want to do that, doesn't care to do that. There certainly are people that will, but we'll see what happens. This is from their wormhole bridge. Yeah, Solana's one that I just wish I could have been in this ICO. I still have the email. Wonder what the ICO price was.
Yeah.
I remember when they announced this wormhole bridge, and everybody's like, it's such a big deal. And I was like, we'll see what happens. But now you're going to use that wormhole bridge to, move NFTs between Ethereum and Solana. So pretty big deal for interoperability. Over 2,300 Cardano smart contracts are waiting in time lock. Now, we've got a video for you guys today on Cardano. We're going to be talking a lot more about this story, a lot more about other stories as well. Over 2,300 Cardano smart contracts are waiting in time lock. ADA price lies 20% over last 2 weeks. I don't hate Solana. Why? Look, I hate some of the people who are investing in Solana. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. And I don't feel like what's going on with the price of Solana, it's our 4th biggest holding. I got 7 figures of Solana. Okay. So I'm not trying to FUD Solana. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm really being honest with you about the way that I feel. Okay. Which is this. The price increase of Solana has given people an overconfidence in its tech. It's an overconfidence into the ecosystem because the institutional investors are what drove that 100%. Now, is Solana great tech? Yeah, we've liked Solana. I've said nothing but good things about Solana ever since we started covering it on this channel like a year ago, okay, or longer. So I know I covered it, years ago in some forms and fashions. But, as far as dedicated videos and stuff, probably about a year ago, maybe we did the first one. I can't remember exactly when. But the point is this, is that the institutional investing has driven up the price. And I think it's unrealistic to think at this point that with as small of an ecosystem that Solana has, that it's going to be competitive with Ethereum in the short term. And I think there's a lot of investors out there that are not institutional investors, that are retail investors, that are going to get trapped later down the road by the institutional investors, and they're going to basically get you all wrecked. There's a lot of people who will get wrecked on Solana down the road.
Well, it's just
that's the only thing that makes sense.
It's very overhyped right now. Like a lot of the smart contract platforms of last cycle, that didn't really ultimately end up competing with Ethereum in any substantial way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. So it's hype. A lot of stuff are hype. A lot of projects are hype driven right now. That doesn't mean there's not a lot of money to make, but it doesn't necessarily mean the tech is as great as everybody says it is.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. I'm not saying anything bad. I like it. I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to succeed. I think it will be a major player in the smart contract space. No question about it.
Yep.
Will it compete with Ethereum? I don't think so. But okay, so we got this story about Cardano. 2,300 smart contracts waiting to be deployed. Now, I do want to give you guys a warning about the Cardano ecosystem at this point, which is as dApps start rolling out, keep this in mind. Cardano is a trusted blockchain. We know anything that Cardano does, we can pretty much trust. You don't trust, verify. But obviously, Cardano is not a scam. Cardano is not a rug pull. As we saw with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and other ecosystems, once this stuff starts rolling out on Cardano, you're going to see a lot of scams come into Cardano. We see it with every single blockchain in history, okay? There will be a lot of rug pulls. There will be a lot of Ponzi schemes. There will be a lot of meme coins that have no value. So watch out for this stuff as it comes on. There's a lot of stuff waiting in the wings, but we don't know if it's all good. Now, one good project that we are working at, and we did confirm, we do have a marketing partnership. We're just waiting on some stuff from them, not money, like some information from them on the direction they want us to go with, but with ADAX, which is a Cardano decentralized exchange. So this will be a project we will be talking, in the future about. I know a lot of people have asked because we mentioned it before. We're just not yet. We're just not there to do the video yet, but we will be working with ADAX. We do have an official partnership with them, so I did want to announce that so you guys do know that is 100%. But might, who knows? It might be next week, next year. I don't know when we'll do a video, but will happen. Okay, so this is one thing that's going on with Cardano. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening right now. Mike Novogratz, speaking about this, Mike Novogratz recently has said some negative stuff about Cardano. Well, he may now be coming to his senses with Cardano. He said, I've got no hate towards the Cardano community. Well, heavily invested in Ethereum, obviously. He has, what does he have? Is it an Ethereum fund? He has something specific with Ethereum. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know what it's called either.
Let me look it up. Galaxy Digital Ethereum. Let's see.
Would it
CI
be
Galaxy
considered a trust as well? I mean, it's
maybe that's what it is.
basically the same. It's just an investment group, basically.
Yeah, but I think their stuff is separate from Bitcoin. Oh, here, this is what I was thinking of. Novogratz Galaxy Digital pulls in $32 million for Ethereum funds. Yeah, it was Ethereum funds. It wasn't just their investments. So from 5 institutional investors poured money into Ethereum. Now, he said a lot of negative stuff about Cardano. Well, recently he got into a Twitter thread and he said, I'll listen. He's actually going to have, is he going to have Charles Hoskinson on his podcast? I think he's going to have Charles Hoskinson on his podcast or somebody prominent from Cardano. So it'd be a big opportunity to maybe get him on board. So we'll see what happens. We do know that institutional money is interested in Cardano now. And now that they've launched something, we might see a lot of people change their opinions on ADA now that it's launched. They lose the power of being able to say, like, oh, nothing's out, because it's going to be out. We got 14,450 viewers. We got 4,139 likes. We can easily get that to 6,000 today. Do us a favor.
Oh, you said 7. Let's go 7,000. That's what you said at the top of the show.
What? Yeah, 7,000, obviously.
You're backing down to 6? You worried we won't hit it?
No, I'm never worried I won't hit it.
I mean, well, it's not you. It's the BitSquad that has to do it.
Good point. Good point.
You believe in the BitSquad?
Yeah, I believe in the BitSquad. They can get to 7,000.
All right.
I just forgot the number I said.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's what I'm here for. I got you.
Yeah, well, thanks. It's weird though, because our viewers are higher, and I gave a lower number.
I know.
It's weird. I don't know why.
It is weird. That's why I wanted to look at it again, because it's like we got 14,000 people here. We can at least get half of them to hit the like button. Please.
Easily. Then versus hand expressions.
Well, it's better than hand gestures.
Yeah,
yeah, I knew that's where that was going.
Where did it go, TJ?
Well, I don't know. Let's just do your job. You like that?
I do. Okay. XRP. Here we go. This is big news, guys. Okay. This is from one of our favorite news publications, Coin Ape. Make sure to ape into Coin.
We should just drop the G and call it Coin Ape.
Coin Ape.
It'd be so much better.
A great logo for this place would be like, you know how Sheldon Evans and Andre Gique do those thumbnails with the coins in their mouth? Like coin gape. You know, like a big gaping hole in their mouths for a coin to fit in. Those guys love those. They went to Graham Stephan and Andre Gique. They went to the same thumbnail school. I'm very positive of it.
Must be in Vegas.
It's got to be. And they also they put out their videos at almost the exact same time, like twice a week. I think it is something like that. almost the exact same time. I mean, it's so interesting to watch. They're friends, you know. So
no joke. I think they use the same marketing team, like the same people to manage all their stuff.
Yeah, it probably makes sense. Okay, XRP lawsuit. Settlement speculations rise upon SEC request for an extension to file seal. So it's weird because when you see this, yeah, let's do hashtag XRP Army. Your supreme leader and commander is here. Okay, we're gonna give you some good news today, some hopium, if you will. But when you see this, like TJ, let me ask you this question: What they said, Michael Strahan would be perfect for the gap. When you see this, when they're saying that this is a request for an extension to file, that doesn't seem to indicate a settlement, right? It seems to indicate the opposite.
Settlement speculation rise upon SEC request for an extension to file seal. Who's the request from?
This is from
the SEC is making
the SEC. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds
bearish, right?
Yeah.
Well,
like they're going to drag it out. Like
it does. When you really start getting into this article and you start figuring out exactly what happened here and what's going on, it's not the extension that has people fueling these rumors and speculation of a coming settlement. It's actually the language that was in the extension. It is super interesting stuff. And remember, I'm telling you, if this happens in September, ain't nobody else was telling you that this was going to happen. Even if it happens the first couple days of October, we'll count that as a win too. Here we go. The latest update in the XRP lawsuit saw the SEC appeal for an extension to file for its letter motion to seal certain portions of Ripple's objections and responses to the SEC's second and third set of interrogatories submitted as exhibits for the court's consideration in support of the SEC's letter opposing defendants' letter motion to compel further responses to interrogatories. I hate this stupid legal language. Do you understand anything I just said?
Well, I wasn't listening.
Nobody does. Well, good, because it was pointless. But here is from James Fallon. He says the SEC requests an extension. Here is a picture of the extension here. Let's see. I don't know if it's in this specific part of it here. But it says, however, the reason why the market has been flooded with settlement speculations again is because of the SEC's meet and confer mentioned in its appeal letter. Is this the appeal letter? Does it say something in confer in here? I would like to see where it actually is. I don't see it. I don't think that's it. But it says the plaintiff stated that before adding portions to seal the plaintiff will be conferring with the defendants. They're going to have a face-to-face meeting, the SEC and Ripple Labs. The portions of the seal pertain to the third-party submissions to the SEC that the SEC believes may merit sealing. Brings us back to the SEC approaching Ripple for a seal to protect certain eminent individuals' secrets hidden in the exhibits. Now, how crazy is this? They're not going to the judge. They're meeting with Ripple one-on-one. I mean, not literally one-on-one. One SEC, one commission, and one company, okay? Ripple's got to give them the sign-off for this. Interesting, isn't it? Yesterday, the lawsuit saw SEC file a letter stating that it does not oppose Ripple's request to seal parts of certain exhibits in the interrogatories dispute. Furthermore, the plaintiff also noted that a letter of appeal to file its own motion to seal is expected in the interrogatories dispute by September 24th. That's tomorrow. Let's see. This is where they say they don't. SEC files a letter. It doesn't oppose Ripple's motion to seal. Speculations rise again with yet another seal. While both parties have fought their ends of the arguments in the interrogatories dispute, they are back together and filing for a seal. However, this will not be the first time the case witnesses both Ripple and SEC join forces. Yeah, because they're joined forces the whole time. Earlier in the XRP lawsuit, a similar seal collaboration was seen in the DPP dispute. Once again, as always, not to be confused with Diamond Dallas Page. That's DDP. It was speculated that Ripple negotiated a deal with the SEC to get protection, while the commission got another shot at pursuing further litigation against other crypto projects without the burden of legal precedent. Furthermore, SEC is accused of appealing for a seal to protect an eminent ex-official, William Hinman. So this is a very key part of this story here, which is, look, I could not have been more wrong on this in the beginning. And to be fair, I wasn't as aware of the way things are really working in crypto and in the financial system at that point. But what I'll tell you is, I thought SEC was going to destroy Ripple. I thought Ripple was going to, you can't go against the government and win. Well, can't beat them, join them, So I thought Ripple was going to get decimated, possibly face the death penalty. SEC would win, call them a security. And at that point, we would have legal precedent to call other coins security. Well, it hasn't gone like that at all. It's gone the opposite. Ripple has been pounding the SEC in this case, all by design, of course. They've been pounding them in this case. They're going to work out a settlement, but here's the thing. Because parts of all these motions and all of these filings are going to be sealed, there will be no further legal precedent, which will allow the SEC to save face by, attacking the marketing practices of Ripple. They're going to attack the marketing practices. That's where the settlement will come from. That's where the fine will be for the way that they marketed it. Okay. But there will be no legal precedent for the SEC or for other crypto projects to not be considered a security. Kind of like we saw for Bitcoin, Ethereum, they got basically called not securities, nothing else after that. Ripple is going to be the same way. And this means future projects are going to have a lot to worry about if they're not connected on the inner workings of the SEC and how this all works. Some projects in the future could be punished for 100%. There will certainly be projects punished in the future. What is that percentage? I don't know. I mean, I tend to agree with Caitlin Long, who posted something the other day saying that, the vast majority of cryptos are not securities. Some are. Some can certainly be considered securities. What are those? I don't know which ones they are, but it's the minority. It's not the majority for sure. So I think a lot of scams, a lot of scam coins, obviously, are securities. Anything that's like BitConnect, like Ponzi scheme, for sure. You guys can think about, maybe some projects that come to mind there. So very interesting stuff. We'll see what happens, but if we get this case settled soon, it is going to be very interesting. Sports-themed NFT spark gold rush as projects raise $930 million in a week. Now, I will tell you guys this. I am 0-2 in our office fantasy football league.
I think I might be too.
I'm 0-2. I have the 4th highest points in the league.
Yep.
I have had the most points scored against me by like 100 points.
Yeah,
so I've had some good weeks.
You were playing Tim last week, right?
No, I played J Chains. I didn't even play the highest score in the week. I just played, like, they had incredible weeks the week they played me. I played J Chains and then Brian of the new Money Gang Showdown.
Yeah.
And both of them came down to the last day. Aaron Rodgers crushed me last week. And then this week, basically, he had Aaron Jones and I had Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Jones outscored Aaron Rodgers, and that's what ended up costing me. So, and we're talking about sports here, so I want to fill that in. Yeah. I'm 1-1 in my other league and 2-0 in my other league, so I'll take it. Following the $250 million funding round, Dapper Labs intends to launch more licensed collectibles in music, entertainment, and other sports codes. Tokenized sports collectibles have raised almost $1 billion in funding in the space of a week. On Wednesday, Dapper Labs, the firm behind the Flow blockchain, the widely popularized tokenized basketball collectibles NBA Top Shot, announced a further $250 million in a funding round led by tech-focused hedge fund Coatue. As reported by Cointelegraph on Wednesday, French-based NFT soccer trading game developer So Rare raised $680 million. Wow, this is crazy. How much is it? Can you all see how important these NFTs are going to be? I don't think you can grasp. I think we have a serious problem in the crypto echo chamber accepting the breadth and scope of NFTs in the future of the world. I really do think I think we have a problem with that. Because we look at a lot of celebrities trying to take advantage, a lot of athletes trying to take advantage of the crypto markets. I don't know if you guys saw the John Wall debacle that occurred. I guess it was yesterday or the last couple of days, where he basically just, whoever his developers were and creators of his NFTs, they were extremely lazy, just copied stuff, and he got destroyed all over the internet.
He yesterday used us hit NFTs. We would have done him right.
John, if you feel like you've hit the wall, and you want to get on a winning team, okay, I think he's on the Rockets. He's definitely not on a winning team right now.
He needs to get on the other side of the moon.
Yeah, that's right.
See what I did there?
I did. That was good. Yeah. But anyway, so Dapper Labs, they raised a bunch of money, as long and short of it. Some people would say they may be in position to get the NFL NFT when it happens. So Rare blowing up, $930 million raised in a week. Absolutely insane how much has happened here. And we're still seeing NFTs continue on a massive run. I mean, it feels like every week. I said my makeup is looking on point today. My makeup is looking on point.
Getting a lot of comments about, not a lot.
I do not wear makeup during the week.
Another question, do you wear self-tanner was another question we got.
Self-tanner?
Yep.
I've never in my entire life touched self-tanner. I don't even know what it is. Is that a spray? Or is that like a lotion you put on? It puts the lotion on its belly or something, or on the skin. Puts the lotion on the skin.
But you will confirm you're definitely standing on a box.
Yeah, I'll jump off the box.
Yeah, go ahead. Look at that.
Look at this. Can't even reach the microphone. Hold on.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, can't confirm I'm standing on a box. Somebody also said their investment strategy is whatever pillows we have up. It's a pretty good strategy.
Yeah, it's not bad. We need to get some other pillows.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. Look, we talked about NFTs. Fed to release paper on central bank digital currency soon. Now, that's what Jerome Powell said.
That ought to be good.
It ought to be good, but they already said they're not going to take a position on it.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting.
That's a big nothing burger that we're going to have to talk about for too long.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. Federal Reserve will soon release research examining the costs and benefits of a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. Jerome Powell said. What are your feelings on Jerome Powell? Do you like him?
No.
Do you put him in the same category you put Gary Gensler or Elizabeth Warren or Janet Yellen?
Definitely.
I don't know. I find myself having a hard time hating him.
Why?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Well, you probably just do some reading on him and it'll.
I think it's because he kind of looks like
like a nice
I don't
old
know
man.
if this is true or not, but I can imagine him like being an elf in the Santa Claus movie. Like you can just put like a little elf hat on him.
I see it. Yeah, he's like
not the Santa Claus in the movie Elf, not Santa Claus in the Elf movie.
It would work either way. I can see.
Is this Will Ferrell's dad in the movie?
So basically, you're saying he looks nicer. He just looks like a nice old man, basically.
Yeah, like a nice little old man.
Like your grandpa.
I've got to be taller than Jerome Powell. If I'm not taller than Jerome Powell,
I don't know if that's going to work out for you.
Oh, he's got to be 5'8". Got to be. Jerome Powell. He doesn't have his height. How tall is he? How tall is he? It's not available. Golly, it's not available. They don't know. Who is tall? There's some politician that's really tall. I can't remember who it is. Oh, it's James Comey from the FBI. He's like almost 7 feet.
A lot of politicians are tall.
He's really tall, but he doesn't look like it. He doesn't stand very tall.
Yeah.
But he looks like Slender Man. But anyways, Jerome Powell said they're going to be exploring this. That's the point here. We got way off topic here. But I thought that was a much more interesting conversation. But I have a hard time putting him in the same category I put these other people. I don't know why.
I think you do a little reading and then you'll slide him in there.
I think it's because he's just very dry. I think it's because he's very dry and he doesn't seem like with what he says, it doesn't come off as manipulative as some of the other people, I think. Crypto enthusiasts and members of the financial industry are eagerly awaiting the Fed's research. Powell said on Wednesday, no decision has been made, and the priority for the U.S. payment system will remain stable and trustworthy. We're that face. We're working proactively to. I would like a teddy bear for Christmas. He said that we're working proactively to evaluate whether to issue a CBDC, and if so, in what form. Ultimate test will apply when assessing a CBDC, he told reporters, as if there are clear and tangible benefits that outweigh any costs and risk. Alan Greenspan is very tall. Former President Trump was 6'3". I actually have some friends I went to high school with that played golf with him. And a couple of them are pretty tall. And he was taller than them. He is pretty big.
Yeah.
He's actually almost the exact, this is true. I'm pretty sure this is true. I think he's almost the exact same height and weight as Derrick Henry.
This is so weird. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find this information. It's so weird that it's hidden. There's a whole article about the heights of the Fed chairs.
Yeah.
The former one,
Well, if they were tall, they wouldn't need a chair.
Paul Volcker was 6'7".
Wow.
And then obviously Janet Yellen, not very tall, 5'3". And they're talking about him in contrast to these people, but never do they list how tall he is.
That's crazy.
You
What's
got
that?
it? Okay, we've got.
Oh, it's only in meters. So we'll get it figured out here soon.
All right.
Digital currency issued by the central bank will be different from crypto such as Bitcoin. We already know that. It's more important to do this right now, or to do this right, than to do it fast. We're the world's reserve currency. I think we're in a good place to make that analysis and to make that decision. And look, here, I think this is a really key line here, okay? Because they want to remain the reserve currency. That is the goal. That's why we're moving to deflation. If they keep quantitative easing and keep the money printing going, we will lose the reserve currency of the world. And they do not want that. So that is all this positioning. The creation of the digital dollar, it will play into that. And we think it will be USDC. 54% of Salvadorans are not familiar with Bitcoin. I believe that. We got a Salvadoran in the office. He's heard of Bitcoin.
That's actually lower. I thought it would have been a lot more. So that's actually pretty
Well,
good.
it's got to be in the government a lot. I mean, I'm sure it's like dominating their news down there, I would think.
I would think. So Jerome Powell is 5.97 inches.
Son of a snitch. We're almost the same height.
Almost the same.
Well, y'all go ahead and start putting in your requests. What do you want me to build you for Christmas? No, the chucker. Golly. I thought I was much taller. I thought he was probably 5'8", 5'7". He looks very short. Okay. All right, guys. Last thing here. This is from BitBoy Crypto News. It's run by, it looks like a hamster, that is, I think. He runs that for us. But our next AMA will be with Curio Invest, a project we did an AMA with earlier this year. Curio will be providing updates that they have had to their platform and offering users a chance to win exclusive NFTs for the best community questions. Get access to our Telegram with the link right here on Twitter. We already retweeted it. I'm going to retweet it again so it'll be at the top. There we go. I'll do it. Retweet it again. Come join the AMA. There we go. So you guys can go to the top of my Twitter at BitBoy_crypto, and you guys can get access to that. So check it out. A lot of great prizes for questions. Go get involved. We like doing these AMAs. It's a good way to let these projects tell their story to you guys, and you guys make up your mind. All right, guys, that is all we got for today. You guys know Thursdays for the boys. About to go out to lunch. That's all I got. Be blessed. Out.